What if the financial support you've relied on for years, your Social Security, SSI, SSDI, VA, and even stimulus checks, was about to undergo the biggest change in decades? Recent developments have led to an executive order that could drastically impact the payments you receive, and it's something every senior in the U.S. needs to know. Whether you're relying on Social Security benefits for daily living or need additional help through SSI, SSDI, or VA payments, these changes are not just headlines. They could directly affect your financial future. In the wake of rising inflation, skyrocketing healthcare costs, and a growing number of seniors struggling to make ends meet, the government has taken bold steps to address these concerns. This isn't just talk. This executive order is putting serious reforms on the table that could lead to more substantial and consistent payments for millions of Americans, especially those who have depended on fixed incomes for most of their lives. If you've been watching the news, you've likely heard about potential changes to Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and VA benefits. But what exactly does it all mean for you? The fact is, the landscape for financial assistance is shifting. Whether it's adjusting payment amounts to keep up with inflation or addressing gaps in the system that have left many seniors struggling, the executive order could change how these payments are calculated, processed, and distributed. For those who qualify, this could mean larger, more reliable checks, perhaps even a new round of stimulus payments aimed at providing immediate relief. But with all the noise around these potential changes, it can be hard to know what's real and what's just speculation. Are these changes something that will actually happen? When could they take effect? And what steps do you need to take to ensure you're ready? The truth is, now is the time to pay close attention. These changes could be coming sooner than you think, and understanding the details now means you won't be left in the dark later. So what's really going on behind the scenes with this executive order? Stick with me as we break down exactly what's at stake and how you can make sure you're part of this important shift. This isn't just about getting the checks you deserve. It's about securing the future you've worked for. As the news about the executive order begins to circulate, many people are asking the same questions. Will I get more money? How will this affect my monthly checks? Should I be preparing for changes in how my Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or VA benefits are delivered? These are all important questions, and it's no surprise that there is a lot of uncertainty around the topic. But the reality is, these proposed changes are more than just promises. They could be the solution that many of you, especially seniors, have been waiting for. Let's start by talking about why these changes are being proposed in the first place. If you've been living on a fixed income, you know just how much of a challenge it can be to keep up with rising costs. It's no secret that the cost of living has gone up in the last few years. Everything from groceries to gas to medical bills is more expensive than it was just a few years ago. Social Security benefits, SSI, and SSDI checks are meant to help cushion the blow for seniors who rely on these payments for survival. But with inflation outpacing the increases in benefits, it's becoming harder for many to make ends meet. The government, recognizing this strain, has decided that something needs to be done. And this is where the executive order comes into play. It's more than just an attempt to adjust payment amounts. It's about fundamentally changing how the system works to ensure that seniors aren't left behind. You've likely heard about potential increases in Social Security payments, but what does this really mean for you? At its core, this executive order is designed to improve the financial security of seniors across the country by ensuring that their benefits keep up with the actual cost of living. For too long, seniors have had to stretch their Social Security and SSI checks as far as they can go, hoping that things like medical expenses and unexpected costs won't push them into financial hardship. With the proposed changes, lawmakers are finally recognizing that these payments need to be more than just a baseline. They need to reflect the realities that many seniors are facing day in and day out. Now let's dive into the specifics of the changes. One of the most talked about aspects of the executive order is the proposed increase in the payments for Social Security, SSI, and SSDI beneficiaries. The idea is that these checks should be more in line with the rising cost of living. For years, there's been a gap between what Social Security and SSI benefits cover and what seniors actually need to survive comfortably. While the yearly cost of living adjustments (COLA) have provided some relief, they haven't always kept pace with the true rate of inflation, leaving many seniors with less purchasing power than before. With this new executive order, the aim is to provide seniors with a more accurate and reliable adjustment to their payments, one that ensures your monthly check stretches further and helps cover a greater share of the costs that you face. What does that look like in practical terms? It could mean that your Social Security check, for example, is not just adjusted by the typical 2 to 3% every year, but could be increased more significantly in a single year, offering relief in a way that matches the rapid inflation that many people are experiencing right now. For those of you who rely on SSI or SSDI benefits, this change could be even more impactful. These programs were already meant to provide additional support to seniors, those with disabilities, and others who are unable to work. However, as prices have climbed, the assistance provided by these programs has often fallen short. This is where the executive order aims to step in and address those shortfalls, ensuring that those who need it the most are getting a more significant payout. If you're a recipient of SSI or SSDI, you might be able to see an increase in your monthly benefits, potentially bringing more stability to your financial situation. Now, you might be wondering, how soon can you expect these changes to take place? Well, that's where things can get a bit tricky. While the executive order is a step in the right direction, the changes won't happen overnight. There are a lot of factors that need to be worked out before this can go into effect. For one thing, there will need to be clear guidelines put in place to determine how these payments will be adjusted, what criteria will be used to decide who qualifies for increases, and how quickly the new payment levels will be implemented. The reality is that the wheels of government turn slowly, and even though the Executive Order H has been signed, it could take months or even years before all of these changes are fully in place. But there's good news. The fact that this executive order has been signed and is now in motion means that seniors, especially those who are struggling, are being recognized, and action is being taken to correct an ongoing issue. The government is acknowledging that the previous system was not enough to meet the needs of seniors, and they are making moves to fix it. While the road ahead might be long, the fact that these changes are being discussed and implemented gives hope that relief is on the way. For now, it's important to stay informed about the process. As these changes begin to roll out, there will likely be updates and important announcements made by government officials and agencies. One thing you can do is keep an eye on communications from the Social Security Administration (SSA) or other relevant organizations. They'll provide updates on any steps you may need to take to ensure that you're receiving the correct payments, or if any action is required from you to qualify for increased benefits. It's also worth noting that the government may provide a transition period during which they ensure that seniors aren't left without support as the system is updated. In addition to payment increases, there's another significant element to this executive order that could have a lasting impact: the proposal for new stimulus checks. While the last round of stimulus payments may feel like a distant memory, the executive order includes provisions for potential new checks aimed at giving seniors and others in need immediate financial relief. If these new stimulus payments are approved, it could provide a much-needed boost to those who may not yet feel the effects of the broader payment increases. The stimulus checks could be a way to offer immediate support for those who are struggling with rising costs, medical expenses, or unexpected financial setbacks. But there's a catch. Like with the other changes, the timing of these stimulus payments is still uncertain. The goal is to provide quick, direct support to those who need it most. But it's important to stay updated on the official announcements and details. As these new stimulus checks make their way through the system, you may need to take action, whether it's applying for assistance or ensuring your payment information is up to date. This can be a lifeline, especially for seniors who might not have the flexibility to absorb unexpected expenses. Whether it's buying prescription medication, covering a utility bill, or simply getting groceries, the stimulus check could provide the cushion many need to get through tough times. Alongside these changes, it's important to take stock of your own financial situation and ensure that you're prepared for any transitions that may come your way. Even with the increase in payments, it's still a good idea to have a budget in place and be strategic about how you're spending your money. Financial planning is always a smart move, especially as you navigate changes in the payment system. While it's exciting to think about these increased payments and the potential for new stimulus checks, it's also important to remember that these changes won't resolve every challenge. For example, healthcare costs continue to rise, and there are still many areas where seniors struggle financially. These changes are a step in the right direction, but they won't be the final answer. As such, staying informed about any future proposals and advocating for yourself will always be important. It's also worth remembering that the process of implementing these changes might not be perfect. There could be bumps along the road, and not everyone will qualify for the increased payments or stimulus checks. But the fact that there is a concerted effort to address the financial needs of seniors is a major victory in and of itself. For many, this will be the first real recognition of the challenges that seniors face, and it's a sign that things are moving in the right direction. In conclusion, the changes brought about by this executive order could have a profound impact on the financial well-being of millions of seniors across the country. Whether it's increased Social Security payments, adjustments to SSI or SSDI, or the possibility of new stimulus checks, these changes are designed to make life a little easier for those who have worked hard and earned their benefits. While we still have a long road ahead, the fact that these changes are on the horizon is reason for optimism. Now is the time to stay informed, keep track of updates, and make sure you're prepared for whatever comes next. With these changes, you could be on your way to a more secure and comfortable financial future. But it all starts with understanding how these shifts will affect you. Stay tuned, stay proactive, and remember, relief may be closer than you think.